Alright, part 3 of Obi-Wan Kenobi has officially premiered on Disney Plus, and oh my god. Yeah, I guess they are doing Wednesdays now. First 2 episodes premiered on Friday, but now they're doing Wednesday for the rest of the season. I don't know. So I guess it will be competing with Miss Marvel. But anyway, I'm gonna give you a spoiler warning. I'm gonna be talking about the details of what happens in this episode of Obi-Wan. So you've been warned because, yeah, I can't talk about this without talking about Vader. I just can't do that. And yeah, you heard that right. This episode sees the official return of the greatest villain in movie history, Darth Vader. I love how this episode just gave us dessert right out the gate. We see the armor coming onto him, and we're like, oh shit, here it comes. And it's great. That very first scene, leading up to the show, we heard that Hayden Christensen is gonna be back, alright. But the whole time, I'm pretty sure we were all thinking, he's Darth Vader at this point, so shouldn't it be James Earl Jones doing the voice? Why haven't they said anything about that? Sure enough, in that first scene on Mustafar in Fortress Vader, he's talking with Reva, and he's like,
Kenobi is all that matters now. Is that understood?
And I was like, yup, there he is. That's James Earl Jones' voice. Holy shit. I always get a kick out of new lines from Darth Vader when he's voiced by the James Earl Jones, the original voice of Vader. This man has been voicing this iconic character for 45 years now, and he is 91 years old. 91! Folks, it does not get any more iconic than that. He is the most famous villain of all time. He is the greatest ever created, and it's because of scenes like this.
Prove yourself, and the position of Grand Inquisitor is yours. Fail me, and you will not live to regret it.
Yeah, at this point, I was watching this, and again, my jaw was on the floor. 'Cause this Vader is just straight up pure evil. We see that a little later on. I'll get to it. So back with Obi-Wan and Leia, they make it to this planet Mapuzo, and it's funny, I was getting a load of this landscape and I was like, what a desolate place this is. But the weird thing is that, okay, they're here for help. Apparently, Kumail Nanjiani directed them to this planet because someone could help them here. And for a brief second, Obi-Wan actually sees someone dressed like a Jedi. Although if you look closely, it looks like he has horns, so maybe he's Dathomirian, aka the same species as Darth Maul. But then, just like that, he's gone. And then we don't see him again for the rest of the episode. So I'm wondering he'll probably come back into play later. Maybe he'll be good, maybe he'll be bad. I don't know. There's one scene I want to talk about that really got my attention. Is when they're on that transport vehicle, and Obi-Wan actually starts opening up about his family history. At that point I was like, whoa, wait a minute, family backstory of Obi-Wan? Why have I never even given this a thought? Like, I've never actually thought, where does Obi-Wan come from? What's his home planet? What were his parents like? Did he have a family before he joined the Jedi? Here during this scene, we actually get, I guess, a little hint of it. He mentions remembering a baby, like he had a brother at some point, and I guess he ended up joining the Jedi at a very young age. I think he said something along the lines of he was taken from his family, not unlike stormtroopers in the First Order. You remember Finn said that?
I was taken from a family I'll never know.
And I think that's how the Empire did it too. That's interesting. But it was just really shocking to hear these lines coming out of Obi-Wan, because I was like, I've never thought about this before. And so they end up meeting Tala, played by the Dornish woman from Game of Thrones. And it's funny because I remember hearing when this actress was cast for this show, a lot of people, including myself, were like, oh, is she gonna play Satine in flashbacks? I don't know what our fetish is with Satine. She's just an interesting character in terms of Obi-Wan. I think we should all get over the fact that Satine's just not gonna be in this series, because it doesn't look likely at this point. But Tala, alright, she is an Imperial Admiral, but she defected from the Empire. And so now she helps Lost Jedi find their way, reinvent themselves, go into hiding. I do like that. I always like when someone from the Empire defects to the good side. But alright, now I'm gonna get into it. Cause right when Obi-Wan starts getting a little woozy, he's like, oh, Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good. You know what's going on. And then you hear that Vader breathing, and you're like, oh shit. Here he comes, walking down the street, choking the life out of everyone he meets. Because that's what he does. He's just strolling down the road and he's just torturing people. It's awesome. He's like a monster. It is like that scene from Rogue One where he's just massacring everyone. Except this is a little more sinister. I mean, of course, the best part is when he's choking that one guy and then the guy's son comes out. He's like, Dad! And then Vader just goes, boop! And just snaps the kid's neck. I was like, oh! That was brutal! I can't believe they let that slide on Disney Plus. I love it. Vader's like,
yeah, Force Choke is too good for this guy. I'm just gonna snap his neck.
And eventually we get a confrontation with him and Obi-Wan. And first of all, can I just say I love the lighting during this scene? It's dark out and they're lit by the lightsabers, so it's just blue and red. And also how when Ben first sees Vader, he just runs. Because he's weak and he's so shocked just by his appearance. He's just like, yep, peace, I'm out. He knows Vader is strong, and we definitely see that here. When they're fighting, you see that Vader's just using one arm. He is overpowering Obi-Wan, because think about it, the Jedi are all but extinct, the Empire is in its prime, so who do you think is really gonna win this fight? Yeah, it's not really a contest. I love the line where Obi-Wan says, "What have you become?" And Vader responds,
I am what you made me.
That was such a great line because from a certain point of view, that is true.
A certain point of view?
I mean, you know, we all think back to that moment in Revenge of the Sith where Obi-Wan cut off all his limbs. Obi-Wan did do that, so in a way, Obi-Wan did create the Vader we see here. Brilliant writing, seriously. And then I love what happens next. Vader holds Obi-Wan up with the Force, and there's that fire in front of him, and he's like,
Now you will suffer.
And he throws Obi-Wan into the fire. I was like, oh, he's getting his revenge. That's great. Of course Anakin would want his revenge against Obi-Wan after what he did to him. And for a brief moment, yeah, Obi-Wan is just there burning in the fire. I was like, okay. Obviously, he's gonna get out of that situation uninjured, because he doesn't have any burns that we see anyway in A New Hope. So he's gonna be fine. And he does. Tala rescues him along with that loader droid, but not after Vader promises.
Your pain has only just begun.
Oh shit, alright. Vader's not done with him yet. I'm pretty sure we'll get more of this Ben versus Vader conflict later on in the series. I hope this isn't all we see of it. And the episode ends with Leia trying to get away, but Reva intercepts her. So yeah, alright, we're in trouble. I'll say this about Reva though, she is getting really interesting. Cause I am wondering like what her goal is here. She wants to obviously appease Lord Vader. Maybe she wants to be like his right-hand woman. Maybe she wants to kill Obi-Wan to get there. And in the end, she's going to learn a very important lesson. She's not going to be the one who gets the opportunity to kill Anakin's old mentor. Vader is, but I guess we'll see. So yeah, in the end, part 3 of Obi-Wan Kenobi was great. It is the best episode yet. And again, I'm hoping this was not the final confrontation between Ben and Vader. I hope they meet up towards the end of the season, because how can you top this? What, you're gonna have a Ben versus Reva fight? That's not nearly as epic as Ben versus Vader. I mean, we'll see what happens, but as for now, that's my current mindset. Besides, we'll probably get to see more Hayden and James Earl Jones. So, Obi-Wan Kenobi Part 3. Have you watched it yet? What are your thoughts on it? And what's your favorite Vader moment from this episode? Whatever you think, go ahead and leave a comment. And of course, thank you for subscribing. Peace!